You may recognize this man. He's a lawyer. He represents the porn actress Stormy Daniels in her lawsuits against the president and Michael Cohen. But in the last 6 months, he has become famous in his own right. He's now one of the most consistent fixtures on cable news in this country. He's appeared on CNN and MSNBC literally hundreds of times, but he's moving beyond being a mere television celebrity. He's now talking about running for office for president. He's released his positions on major issues. He's traveled to Iowa and New Hampshire and Michigan and Ohio. He seems serious about it. We've invited him on the show many times to talk about his plans, but he's always declined until tonight. He's now agreed to appear on our set, provided we give him time to state his case, and we're, of course, happy to do that. In the past, he's also demanded that we stop referring to him by a certain unflattering nickname. And we haven't agreed to that demand, but tonight, as a gesture of goodwill, we will not use that nickname, because we're always grateful when guests are brave enough to show up in person, including in this case. And he joins us now. Thanks a lot for coming on. So, I mean, we could sit and hurl insults at each other for the segment. Already done that. I've certainly insulted you. You've insulted me. But you seem smart. So let me take you seriously as someone who wants to be involved in the public conversation and ask you about things that you have said on questions of policy to flesh them out a little bit. So this is you at a rally in July. I think it was the day after the president spoke with Vladimir Putin in Helsinki. And you were addressing a rally. And here's what you said. Watch.
What Vladimir Putin and Russia did to this country in connection with the 2016 election is no different than if they had placed 100,000 troops on our border. This was an invasion. It was an electronic invasion. It used hackers and tweeters to elect this president.
So if Russia had 100,000 troops on our border, I mean, that would be an act of war, a profound provocation. What would be the rational response to that if you really felt the threat was that profound? If you were president, how would you respond to that?
Well, Tucker, I understood that I was coming on your show tonight to talk about the case involving my client.
Well, I didn't tell you that, and I'm happy to talk about the case. But I just played you a clip.
Tucker, you got to stop. Tucker, you got to stop interrupting me, okay? Because one of the conditions of me coming on tonight was that you were not going to do what you do routinely to guests, which is talk over them and interrupt them. So just let me finish with my answer, okay? Let me finish with my answer.
I said I'd give you a fair interview. I actually don't have an interest in squabbling with you at all or name calling. I've done a lot of that to you, and you've done it to me.
No, but not to my face.
I could, but what's the point? I want to take you seriously. I'm serious.
Okay.
So I just played a clip of what you said at a rally. You're traveling to states because you want to influence policy direction. Correct. I don't think it's unfair to ask you about something that you said.
What's the question?
And the question, let me restate it, is you said that Russia has done something that is equivalent to putting 100,000 troops on our border. That's an act of war.
Correct.
And I wonder two things. One, what you would do as president if that happened under your watch. And two, what do you think Russia thinks watching public figures like you say that we're at war with Russia? What effect do you think that has?
Well, first of all, there's no question that Russia interfered with the 2016 election in a very serious way. The only question is, what was the involvement in Donald Trump or by Donald Trump and his cronies in the process? Okay. And that's what Bob Mueller's in the process of getting to the bottom of. By
but how should we as a country respond?
There you go, interrupting me again. Okay. So how should we respond?
Yes, I asked you 3 times.
We should respond with the absolute force of the law. We should be doing everything in our power to bring those individuals to justice. Those individuals that are also in Russia. And let me tell you what we should not be doing. We should not be standing shoulder to shoulder with Vladimir Putin and choosing Russia over the hardworking men and women of the intelligence community that risk their lives for this country. So the president has sold out the United States for the benefit of Putin.
So the administration announced today a new round of even tougher sanctions against Russia. Do you support that?
I think it's a start, but I don't think it's
what would be the end?
I don't think it's a step in the right direction. I don't think the president has shown any leadership relating
sanctions
to Vladimir,
are not a step in the right direction?
No, I said it's a step, but it's not enough.
Okay.
I believe that President Trump should demand the extradition of each and every individual in Russia that Bob Mueller and others believe were responsible for the election meddling in 2016.
Okay, so I think a number of people have been charged. Okay, that's a start.
I think that's a start.
But what's I mean, if you really really believe that it's the same as 100,000. What I'm saying is you're using reckless rhetoric on a subject you don't really understand that increases the temperature between the United States and a nuclear-armed adversary. Is that a responsible thing to do?
I think under the circumstances, I stand by my words, and I think for you to lecture...
That it's 100,000 troops on the border?
I think for you to lecture me about reckless rhetoric is rather ironic, Tucker, in light of some of the reckless rhetoric that you engage in each and every day on this show.
Reckless rhetoric. Okay. So you've said that you are a civil libertarian, in effect. You're a libertarian on sex questions. And that's fine with me. Does it bother you that the Obama administration authorized spying on American citizens connected to a rival presidential campaign?
Well, first of all, I don't think it's been established that that occurred, number one.
That Carter Page was spied on?
I don't believe that that's been established, number one, that in fact President Obama authorized
his administration authorized.
Are you going to interrupt me for the entire segment?
I'm
or just
clarifying because I don't think you understand the question.
No, I do.
The Obama administration authorized spying on an American citizen connected to the Trump campaign. Does that bother you at all?
First of all, I don't think that's been established. If it was established, of course it would bother me. Are we going to get to the facts of my client's case?
Yeah, let me just ask you one last real adult question first, because you're traveling around the country as a commentator on politics, and I'm interested to know what you think. I don't think that's illegitimate. So it has not been established that Carter Page was spied on? Is that what you're saying?
How many times are you going to ask me the same question? I've already stated that in my view, I don't believe that President Obama has been shown to have authorized the spying, quote unquote.
The Obama administration. Why dodge the question? Look, you traveled here with policy advisors who've worked on other campaigns to the show tonight.
I have no idea.
I think you'd be ready for a simple question.
I didn't travel here with policy advisors. Can I ask you? Let me ask you a question.
No, I don't think. Why don't you get a TV show and then you can ask me a question? I've asked you a simple question and you're not answering.
Why is it that you don't call Donald Trump the creepy porn president? He's the one that had sex with a 4-month-old son at home with my client without a condom. But you don't want to acknowledge that.
Hold on.
You don't want to
acknowledge that.
Acknowledge it. Okay. Do you believe that he had sex with my client?
Yes, I do. I've said that on the air multiple times.
So he's lied repeatedly to the American people, and you're okay with that. You think it's okay if the president lies to the American people?
Settle down. Let me finish my question to you. What is the crime, the harm, the injury to your client by Donald Trump? As far as I understand, this was a consensual sexual relationship, and yes, I believe it occurred. I don't know that, but it seems like it did. I'm willing to believe that it did. But it seemed consensual, and then she was paid at the end of it. And yet you... And by the way, I'm not attacking Stormy Daniels. I feel sorry for her. I feel she's being exploited.
You've attacked her for 6 months.
I feel that you and others are exploiting her. So I feel bad for her. But I'm wondering what the injury is to her.
I think you demean her repeatedly. And I think you're a hypocrite.
So let me ask you what the injury... You want to talk about the case. I'm asking you the core question in the case. What is the injury to Stormy Daniels?
The injury is that the agreement that was entered into was not adhered to by Michael Cohen and Donald Trump. They did not fulfill their end of the bargain. Now, do you want to talk about the injury to the American people, the lies and the
lying. So you believe no, but you just went off on this moral lecture about how it was wrong for the president to have an adulterous affair, and I would agree with that. But you're very outraged. So yes, you said it's an injury against the American people that he had sex with someone, not his wife, when his wife was pregnant.
You didn't let me finish. The injury is that he and Michael Cohen and others lied to the American people and covered up the $130,000 payment and violated campaign finance law. That's why Michael Cohen, I'm not done. That's why Michael Cohen just pled guilty.
Let me ask you a question.
That's why Michael Cohen just pled guilty.
I understand them. I've been following the news as well.
Okay.
Did Donald Trump have a moral obligation to tell the American people that he had a sexual relationship with Stormy Daniels?
I don't care whether he had a moral obligation or not.
What he had an obligation?
No, what he had an obligation to do was not cover it up and lie about it and commit campaign finance violations as his right hand. Michael Cohen just pled guilty to the felony. Tucker, what are you talking about?
To campaign finance violations?
Yes, associated with Ms. McDougal. And I thought you were following the news.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you. I'm a little confused. So you're the protector of Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels is right now working in strip clubs in little towns on stage. People are throwing things at her. You're wearing a $1,000 suit. Why are you not paying her? You've profited from Stormy Daniels. You've done tens of millions of dollars worth of free media on the basis of your relationship with her, and she's working in strip clubs. You're exploiting her, and you know that. Why aren't you paying her some of what you're making?
Sir, this is absurd.
It's not absurd. Those are the facts.
No, you don't know the facts, as evidenced by the fact that
Is she
you don't
working
even
in
know.
strip clubs?
Are you going to continue to interrupt me, or are you going to let me finish?
I do know the facts,
All right.
actually.
No, you don't, because you just demonstrated your ignorance, because you didn't even know Michael Cohen pled to 2 felonies associated with the campaign finance violations.
I don't believe that what Cohen did, and I'm not defending Cohen, I never have, was a campaign finance violation. I think it's absurd. I think it's absurd.
He pled guilty to 2 felonies.
Okay, so everyone who pleads, look, this is a
What, he's innocent?
we have an honest disagreement. I don't think it was a campaign finance violation. Stormy Daniels was to perform in Richmond in a depressing strip club. This hero that you say you're protecting, you're her protector. Why is she working in seedy strip clubs while you're on television wearing expensive suits? Why are you not exploiting her? Why is she doing that?
Because she wants to, Tucker. And
she wants to have people
This is
throw things
America.
at her.
This is America. And guess what? If a woman wants to perform in a strip club, she does so.
But
even
you're
though,
getting rich, and
even though
she's
people,
not.
I'm not getting rich. Even though people like you, even though people like you demean her,
I'm not demeaning
and call her.
You're the one who's
call her
profiting.
You're the one that refers to her consistently as a porn star, and as to me as a creepy porn lawyer. And meanwhile, you give the president. Meanwhile, you give the president a pass who had unprotected sex with the porn star with a 4-month-old son at home.
Well, you are a moralizer for a guy who does what you do.
No,
but you are, though. You are a little moralizer. You're like, we're in church now with a 4-month-old son. Okay, I'm officially shocked by Donald Trump's behavior. I had no idea. It blew my mind. But answer my question. Why are you rich and your client is working in seedy strip clubs?
Sir, do you have any idea how much money I've earned?
You're on every cable show. You're running for president now.
You have no idea.
Well, I know that you haven't paid your taxes because you've got over $1 million worth of
ridiculous. You don't even know your facts.
It's not true.
You don't even know your
$1 million
facts, Tucker.
Look, I'm just saying,
Tucker,
why is she still?
How do you have a show and you're this ignorant? How is that
Here's
possible?
what I know for a fact is that your client is not thriving. And for you to look at me in the eye and say she wants to perform in strip clubs with people throwing stuff at her is insulting to her. People don't do that unless they have no choice, or she just likes it. Is that what you're saying?
Tucker, now you're the defender of my client. You don't know anything about
pathetic. You're exploiting her.
You don't know anything about my client. Exploiting
I know that she's working in a strip club in Richmond.
You gotta let me finish. Can I finish?
Please do.
All right. I've done a remarkable job for my client, and she'll be the first one to tell you that. And had you listened to any of her interviews or seen any of her comments, you would know exactly what she thinks of me. I'm not done. I am not exploiting my client. I'm representing my client to the absolute.
So when she wants to get your legal advice, does she have to pretend to be a booker from CNN to get through to you?
You know, that's disgusting. Why don't you show
What's
some
disgusting
respect?
is
Why don't you show some respect to my
client
client and me and stop calling us a porn star and a creepy porn lawyer? If you've got that big a problem with porn, do you have that big a problem with porn?
I'm not making fun of.
When's the last time? When's the last time you saw porn?
Oh, you busted me. Actually, I made humiliation porn. That's why I watch you on CNN.
No, but when's the last time you? When's the last time you viewed porn?
You're a little creepier even than I realized.
Do you have a problem with porn?
You're dodging the question that I have asked you repeatedly.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that people that view porn should watch your show?
I'm not even sure what that question means, but I will say this sincerely, that I have never attacked Stormy Daniels.
Yes, you have, repeatedly.
I think you are exploiting her, as I've said 5 times, and you haven't answered the question, which is, why is it that her life has stalled, and your life you're planning a new career as a politician, and like so many lawyers, you are taking advantage of her. And you pose as a feminist hero because you are shameless and the other channels let you get away with it. But you're an exploiter of a woman, and you should be ashamed of it.
And you're a,
that is
and
my.
You're,
that is.
No, are you going to let me finish? Let me respond?
We're out of time, and I give you more time.
Hypocrite.
More time than I promised
you. Don't know what you're talking
but
about.
But it is nice to see you.
Yet again.
12 minutes. Creepy porn lawyer. Great to see you. Mark Stein joins us after the break.